Hello and welcome to Model Dads. Today we're going to be looking at Eureka Miniatures' range of 15mm Chechen insurgents. Eureka Miniatures are an Australian manufacturer whose recent range of contemporary Russians and Chechens have their origins in the 300 Club. The 300 Club is, as far as I'm aware, a unique concept that puts wargamers in the driving seat. Customers tell Eureka what types of figures they want and how many they are willing to purchase. As soon as the total number of figures requested reaches 600, the number Eureka needs to break even, and at least 10 customers have registered and confirmed their continued interest, the figures are added to their production schedule. The insurgencies in the North Caucasus continues despite the official end of the decade-long Second Chechen War, with violence concentrated mostly in the republics of Chechnya, Dagestan, Ingushetia and Kabardino-Balkaria. Despite official claims of peace, Chechnya remains a major centre of violence, with terrorist attacks in the North Caucasus appearing to increase substantially between 2007 and 2010. Eureka's range of Chechens are sculpted by Alan Marsh and based upon research undertaken by Costa Heristanidis and focus on Islamic surgeons circa 2010. The range consists of 7 infantry types with small arms and 3 packs of support weapons that include a 12.7mm heavy machine gun on tripod, an automatic grenade launcher, an 82mm mortar, Chechen infantry firing or advancing with AK-74, that's 8 figures in 6 possible variants, Chechen infantry firing an AK-74 with underslung grenade launcher, 2 variants, Chechen infantry firing an RPG-7, 2 variants, Chechen infantry firing an RPG-18, again 2 variants, Chechen infantry firing an SVD sniper rifle, 2 variants, Chechen infantry firing or advancing with a light machine gun with 4 possible variants, and a single Chechen infantry officer. Prices depend upon the location of your local distributor, so check out these websites in Australia, the US and the UK. Let's have a closer look at some of the infantry figures with small arms, starting with those equipped with AK-74s. As you can see, figures are finely cast with only minor mould lines and a little flash on the gun barrels that can easily be removed and doesn't detract from the finished figure. None of the figures provided in the sample have damaged or miscast weaponry, and all are proportionate and highly detailed. All are mounted on textured, thin, oval bases. With 8 figures in 6 randomly supplied poses, there's plenty of variety in the pack, with a further 2 variants available firing the underslung grenade launcher. Figures are represented either advancing or standing like these with an LMG, or kneeling like the officer figure here. None are depicted prone. Figures equipped with RPG-7s, RPG-18s, and the snipers with obligatory Dragunovs come in a kneeling and standing variant. Figures are dressed in a mixture of civilian and military cold weather or sportswear with captured Russian webbing. Figures have one of 3 different heads, each of which wears either a kufi prayer cap or typical woolen hat or rolled up balaclava. Unfortunately, none are represented wearing peak caps, balaclava masks or, more rarely, the traditional Chechen lamb's wool hat. These figures have a lot of character, with the infantry officer bearing a striking resemblance to field commanders or a certain emir. This attention to detail continues as we move on to look at the support weapons, with some of the spotters represented with radios attached to their webbing. Whilst the figures are dated circa 2010, their weaponry and equipment would not be out of place in either the First or Second Chechen Wars, or indeed other modern theatres, past or present. My own niggle with this range regards compatibility. Eureka's figures stand 15mm head to toe and are not the heroic scales seen from other manufacturers like Flytrap Factory, Curacao Miniatures or Old Glory. You can see what I mean when we compare like-for-like support weapons with, say, Old Glory's recent Taliban Dushk team. That said, Eureka manufacture the Russian opposition, so this shouldn't present too much of a problem if you're particularly precious about this sort of thing. Keep an eye out for our forthcoming review of Eureka's modern Russians. I have to say that these are some of the more highly detailed and refined 15mm figures I've seen in a long while. Eschewing the trend towards heroic scaling, Eureka Miniatures have to be commended for producing a complementary set of well-proportioned and posed 15mm figures for a theatre overlooked in this scale. Highly recommended.